My friend, can you feel the heat? Well, actually, it's not that warm today. I don't know, it's about 22 degrees Celsius, which I think in American is about 78, something like that. No, obviously, I'm talking about the smallish pickup size segments. I guess we can just crunch together the compact and mid-size segments together. And the heat is on. Seriously, right now, if you're a fan of these trucks and you're driving around in a 2010, I don't know, Canyon or a 2012 Tacoma, you probably want to still hold on to that one, but you know, or a Frontier or whatnot, and you're in a market to change your truck, I don't think you've had a greater abundance of options over the last 15 years than you have now. And again, I want to include everything from the Maverick, the upcoming Rampage, to the Santa Cruz and the Ridgeline, and you know, obviously the new Colorado and the upcoming Tacoma, and what am I missing? The new Ranger, yeah. I think, oh, well, the Frontier, yeah, that one too. And well, this vehicle, which is the Colorado's identical twin, essentially. This is a 2023 all-new GMC Canyon. And let me tell you, I've always been a fan of trucks. I've been a fan of the automobile forever, but smaller trucks have always spoken to me because they can almost do everything, in the sense that they can fit almost everywhere, and they can haul, and they can tow, and they can carry people. And this current crop is just, and it's only going to get better as this year progresses. I mean, now, after about 5 days with this Canyon, I don't know, I'm really, I'm excited. I don't know why. I mean, okay, my heart belongs to Tacoma, and I know maybe that's biased, but it's the Taco. If you're watching this video, you probably either have a Taco, or you've had a Taco, or someone you know has a Tacoma. But to get back to the way I started, things are heating up. Because this Canyon, granted, okay, it's one of these. But between you and I, that is the last version I would consider myself. I'll go over a few of those details in a few minutes. But just being in the presence of this truck, I am loving every second that I'm spending with this. And obviously, 99.5% of everything I say about the Canyon will apply to the Colorado, though that will not hopefully exclude me from getting the opportunity to test drive said Colorado in the future. All new, third generation, right? The first generation, if memory serves, arrived for the 2004 model year, and then that was promptly replaced for the 2015 model year with a second generation truck, which became even more popular. And believe me, with this third generation, small, mid-size pickup, I think they're gonna be all over the place, much like the Tacoma, and more than likely the Ranger as well, to join the Maverick, which is all over the place. And whatever Ram has ready for us, it's gonna be, like I said, I mean, these small trucks are just, most of them are unbelievable. At least every one that I've sampled, with perhaps one exception, I'll say it now. The Frontier has already not fallen off the map, but anyway. Maybe I'll get to drive it in the near future again. Maybe that'll change my mind. We'll see. Anyhow, in this video, we're gonna do the usual walk around of this fully decked out, or just about, GMC Canyon and Denali. And then we're gonna take it for a drive, because as you know, V6 engines are out. Only turbocharged 4 cylinders are in, and we are the better for it, or at least the person driving. So hang on, please, stick around, and here comes the remainder of the video. All right, let's just dive right into styling. And it's kind of weird, as I just said, you know, I wouldn't get a Denali because I don't know, the 20s just don't work on this as far as I'm concerned, because one of the features on the new Canyon is the fact that it comes factory fitted with like a 2-inch lift. So essentially you get extra ground clearance out of the box, like 9.6 inches in the elevation and a few other trims. When you get to this with the 20s, ground clearance I think grows to 10.5 inches. But look, I'll tell you now, it's just the running boards. The chrome running boards, they just clash with the beefiness. It's not quite the most, I don't know, Denali is supposed to be upscale, and it's, I mean, it is upscale, but it's not quite working for me. But that's that. But every other angle of this truck, I mean, this front end, and Chevy has done some weird things with the front ends on their trucks, but this GMC front end, again with the chrome too, maybe, you know, everything chromed on this is part of the Denali package. But I dare you to find something wrong with this visually. It's spectacular. All right, enough of that. So base elevation 2-wheel drive in the US, $38,395. The only configuration, by the way, is a crew cab short box for now. That'll probably, well, no, in fact, that will change in the near future. The top trim is the AT4X for $56,995 in the US, and as far as I'm concerned, that's probably the one you want to get. There's only one penalty. Instead of towing 7,700 pounds, you're going to tow 6,000 pounds. But, you know, in Canada, so 4x4 is standard, and the elevation starts at 45,603, which is kind of a weird number, but hey, who am I? A bunch of other trims in between, and then you get to the top trim, AT4X, which is not yet available, but will be $64,903. With the base truck, I mean, you get, this is where GM took this business very, very seriously, because you get an 11.3-inch touchscreen display, standard, LEDs all over the place, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius satellite radio, 18-inch wheels, plus that suspension lift. It's very, very well equipped, and it's almost worth it for $45,000. It's insane, completely insane. The Denali, $59,603. What you get with that, well, you get the AutoTrack 2-speed transfer case, which is a bonus if you're gonna actually do some off-roading. Box mounted outlet. I'm gonna try and show that to you very, very shortly. 20-inch wheels, the running boards, an 11-inch digital IP, which is kind of cool. Multi-stow tailgate, I'll show that to you in a moment too. Heads-up display, a power driver and passenger seat, leather cooled, blah, 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 blah. Mine tester right here has also the towing package for about $1,000 because it includes the more powerful alternator. So essentially $60,500 is what you're looking at. Okay, so let's try that. It's also got the soft dropping thing. Oh, it stayed up. I wasn't sure if it was gonna stay up. It's just difficult to. Okay, so this is the box. You can see that it's not entirely, although that's condensation, but you know, I wouldn't put any precious things, but like, I don't know, fishing rods and stuff like that. I mean, it's actually pretty big. It's the near full width of the tailgate. So it's kind of neat. So I can be able to lock it. Like, will I be able to, there we go. And sit on it, lock, there we go. So this is like a 5-foot, almost 2-inch bed, which is, I mean, I just went to the city dump with a bunch of junk, and it's perfect. Look at the height too. Depth is great, and there's the outlet that you get also. I think that's it for the bed. Okay. Yeah, running boards are useful, but they kind of ruin the look. But useful because you can step in. And now you're getting an idea of the Denali. I mean, this diamond quilted business in the 2-tone colors is just beautiful. There's storage under here, accessible via this, but it's difficult to do with just one hand. Ingress, egress, access, comfort. Seating is not too upright, so it's actually comfortable, and you can squeeze 3 across. But where you want to be is up front. I mean, and it's just really nice. Some plastics, cheapish, but let's just keep in mind that this is a pickup because, well, everything else is just beautiful. Cheapish, but gorgeous. Now this, I don't think is real wood. It's too smooth, but okay, so let's climb aboard. I'm gonna start it up. Take advantage of the cooled seats. It's already on, how about that? So I'm jumping right to this, but this little piece here is spectacular. spectacular. It's textured, and it feels like a little piece of wood, of trim. Okay, yes. Okay, so there's the 11-inch digital IP, which can be, well, configured. You can change the display a bunch of ways. I kind of like, come on, this one. No, I went too far. Don't. That one. Yeah, you can get the steering angle, and I don't know, everything's cool because you have the heads-up display over here in this Denali, so you get your speed. That's up there as well. Anyway, steering wheel, lovely grip, nice and fat, and you know, bad habit grips, but still very nice. The 11.3-inch display, it's just superb. Everything about it, it flows. Oh, and I gotta show you this high definition rear camera. Look at that. It's I don't know, it blew my mind when I opened it up or put it in reverse the first time. I don't know, well, there's not much to show you essentially. Yeah, that's how you turn on the fog lights, which is kind of an extra step, but whatever, doesn't really matter. There isn't much else to show except for this, where you have the 4 high and the 4 low, the 2-speed transfer case. I've been in 2-wheel drive because it's nice, obviously. The only semi downside is storage is kind of limited. Yes, trash. The armrest is nice. The bin is deep-ish, but you know, it's nothing crazy, and the door bins aren't that huge. But again, look how beautiful this is. The quilting is gorgeous. And at first I wasn't crazy about the buttons because they're the lacquer or the glossiness, you can kind of see everything is like whited out. But you kind of get a sense for where everything is, and it's actually really nice. I mean, the cabin is beautiful. Oh yeah, Bose audio is something else you get with a Denali. And visibility is actually not that bad. Even when you come around here, there's just like that little V, depending on driving position, of course. Which is just enough. Plus, anyways, with these huge tires, you don't have to worry about cement medians. And that's the tour on the inside. Time to go for a drive. So, amongst the biggest changes with the all-new third-generation 2023 Canyon and Colorado is the fact that the V6 has gone, well, you know, the proverbial way of the do. I don't know. In its stead is a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. You know, I get it. A lot of people are going to be saying that you can't, there's no replacement for displacement or cylinders or whatever. But that opinion quickly changes after one takes the wheel of this vehicle. Mostly because the only version available of that turbocharged 4-cylinder engine in Canada right now is the high output 2.7 liter 4-pot, which produces 310 horsepower at 5,600 RPM. And are you ready for this? You probably already know, but you know, for the video purpose, 430 pound-feet of torque. Yeah. As of about 3,000 RPM. Now you think about that for a second while I'm sitting still at a traffic light in the city where most Denalis will probably end up being driven. If you take GM's biggest naturally aspirated V8 available in its full-size light-duty truck, the 6.2 liter V8, it produces 420 horsepower. Fine, good. But it produces also 460 pound-feet of torque out of a 6.2 liter V8. This has 430 pound-feet of torque. And I need not tell you that this weighs a lot less than any 1500 Silverado or Sierra for that matter. Which means that this thing actually boogies. There's, it's grin-inducing, but you know, it's not designed to do that. I mean, like I said, you can tow up to 7,700 pounds unless you go with the AT4X, which is dropped to 6. But point is, this thing is quick, and so far fuel efficiency numbers, well, I haven't done much highway driving, mea culpa, so I'm not going to share anything now. But maybe in my review on Motor Illustrated, I'll add a few lines on that. But is it just me, or are these lights just getting longer and longer and longer? As we wait, I can tell you that the standard for all 8-speed automatic transmission has been, I don't know, it feels like it knows exactly what it's doing at all times. It's robust, it's tight. It can be relaxed or smooth or refined, you know, under light throttle. But anytime you get on it a little bit hard, I guess it's a truck transmission. Let's just leave it at that. But for all intents and purposes, it's a really, like right now I'm at, I don't know, 20% throttle, and it's just gliding from gear to gear. It's superb. Now, speaking of gliding, the Colorado and, well, this Canyon with the 20s does not glide over the road. Truck behavior, yes, but narrow sidewalls do not help. I can feel every little nook and cranny, which is okay, which is fine, but this is one of the reasons why I would, you know, elevation or AT4X is what I would consider either spend a lot less money or a little bit more and get the 18s with sidewalls and have probably an even smoother ride. Because look, let's face it, despite the sporty nature of the 20-inch oversized tires, you know, the Canyon handles fine, but it's not designed to be pushed around an apex. So there's no need other than for looks, and that's all these 20-inch wheels are for. It's looks. Again, 18s, always. Well, not always, but almost. Brakes feel nice. GM brake pedals I've driven probably 100 GM vehicles over the last 20 years, or maybe more, I don't know, 25 years. And brake pedal feel is always very nice. Steering is, there's nothing to say as far as that's concerned. I mean, the thing with the Denali is you buy it because you want this beautiful diamond quilting business on your dashboard. Otherwise, if you really want this truck, I think just the base elevation, or go all out and get the AT4X, but base elevation just will give you absolutely everything you want. Maybe not cooled seats or a power passenger seat, but whatever. The bottom line is that I can't decide yet which one I prefer, because I've not driven a new Tacoma, although I do hope I get an opportunity in the near future. Oopsie, lane ends. I mean, I'm sure the new Ranger is going to be, I don't want to say epic, but really, really good. But I don't know. The now tripod, as always, but the now dead Ranger was just so terrible that I expect very little from the next Ranger. So that's why it'll probably blow my mind, but it probably won't match the Tacoma. And frankly, I don't know that it'll hurt the Colorado and Canyon that much. I mean, and obviously I'm excluding the Raptor out of this. That would be a comparison with the AT4X. But certainly, sadly, I guess, the Frontier, as probably, despite being one of the most refined likely in the segment, no. But I will end and say this. If you want a pickup, but you don't need a pickup, without driving the Rampage, obviously, the Maverick is phenomenal, period. This is exceptional, absolutely wonderful. And that is all.